Schools closing caused me great concern. It's disrupted the fabric of our whole education process. Some ways that may end up being good. Others, I think 5 months that kids are out of school is a long time for them to be out of school. And how does this affect teachers and educators? Some teachers are going to shine in this new world with technology as their lead to be able to work with kids. And in fact, some who may not have been our teacher leaders before could very well step up to be some of the new distance learning leaders.
I think that it's the best choice that we got to make in the midst of a bad series of events that we have to respond to. The science says that we have to shut down and stop moving around, and that makes perfect sense to me. It's hard on the economy, it's hard on all sorts of things, but the truth is, it's much harder on the various health systems in the world if we are having to deal with this relentless parade of people who are sick and dying moving into those environments. So I don't think we have a lot of options.
Speaking from a kindergarten viewpoint, germs are very alive in the classroom. There's no such thing as personal space, and that's just the pool that it's all going to spread in had we stayed in school. It is heartbreaking that we left school in March, kind of like an extended spring break. I was planning on seeing my kiddos in about 2 weeks, and there's stuff left on the walls. There's stuff in our turn-in baskets. There's jackets left in cubbies because we anticipated this wouldn't go on. 2 weeks turned into 6 weeks, and then 6 weeks turned into the remainder of the year, and that's really challenging. We spend the first part of the year really establishing a classroom community, classroom management, getting to know each other, and then the latter part of the school year, spring is usually the best time when we have built these relationships. We're very close and we get to do more fun activities. The students have grown academically, they're capable of more, and it's just a really fun time in the year. And especially for kindergartners, it's their first experience in school, and to have that taken is tough, and them not fully understanding why there's no more school.
We made the decision as a district to close school 2 days before the actual closure date, which really didn't give teachers a lot of time to decide how they were going to continue to educate their students, what that was going to look like, how they were going to support their students from afar, and really very little guidance. It was kind of like building an airplane while the thing was in flight.
Kind of this uncharted water. I feel like we're treading along, but it's been difficult. There's been challenges presented weekly, so it's a lot to try and balance.
We are definitely a rural school district. Many of our families don't have access to good quality internet, and so it isn't just simply as easy as connecting with students via Google Classroom or being online like that. In my building, we're combo teachers, so I have a K1 teacher, a 2-3 teacher, and then I teach the 4-5 combo, and so there's really a wide range of abilities within one classroom, and so just simply creating a generic homework packet for all students in one class isn't ideal, because there are lots of different levels of learners within each classroom. So teachers have really had to think about how to meet everybody's needs and be really creative with what they're doing and what they're sending home and how they're supporting students.
This is hard for families and for kids. All of a sudden, I as a parent become my child's teacher, my child's parent, my child's caregiver in spaces that we're not used to being in.
Students and families rely so much on schools to provide a social interaction, to provide breakfast and lunch for numerous students. I know that in our district we're at about 42% students that are on a free and reduced lunch, and so I don't believe that even with the bus routes and dropping off food that we're able to meet as many students and families as we would while we are in school.
Parents are trying to, many of them work, or in some more situations that are even more dire. They are trying so hard to survive. They've been laid off. They're stressed. There's mental health issues. So I worry about how this is going to affect kids and families.
I vouch for parents that they're trying their hardest. I know it's challenging. I appreciate their hard work. From speaking to my own class, I know that my students are doing okay. They miss me and their classmates the most. The learning piece of it will come, but I think the social piece of having that ripped away is the most challenging.
If you approach it with the mindset that you are going to be forced to look at your curriculum in a different way, and you're going to share that curriculum in a different way, and you're going to admit that you're figuring it out, you're going to make mistakes. Those are all great educational moments. It gives us a chance to share with students that this is what problem solving looks like in ways that we had no idea we were going to have to deal with. I think that's a good thing. It's harder for kids and families, without a doubt, to have to deal with distant learning. For parents, they're trying to manage and schedule their students while they're also trying to manage and schedule their own lives. And for students, the inability to really hang out with their peers, hang out with their friends, probably is the most challenging part of the process. So we try to do as much face-to-face time digitally as possible so the students can kind of chat with each other and stay socially connected. But without a doubt, it is more challenging.
One of the things that we did early on was call all of our families and give students a chance to talk to us, the teachers, just to check in, see how they were doing, how are they feeling, if they had any questions kind of going forward.
We try to make personal contact with families at least twice a week, whether that's through an online format or through a phone call or a FaceTime or something like that. We also connect with families every other week for our homework pickup and drop-off exchange, and so that's been really nice. Actually, that was something that we did today, was hand out new homework packets and collect the ones that students have been working with. We actually had a Be the Light event that kind of showcased the seniors in the class of 2020 at our football stadium. So we had the lights were on and everybody kind of drove around the football stadium and honked their horns, and there were posters and signs and things like that. So those kind of events have really been an uplifting part of this, just being creative and connecting with families and letting them know we're still here.
In terms of talking to my students and sharing with them, it's a daily basis of communication, and face-to-face and text-based and emails back and forth. My relentless message with the students is relax. It's okay to make mistakes. If you're going to make mistakes and they happen, make big mistakes because you're being committed to the process. That is all good. I tell them to have fun. I tell them to relax, that it's just different right now, and change and difference is a core tenet of being a human being. It's always changing. It's always going to be different. It's okay. Don't panic.
One of my favorite things we've done so far as a school district was a parade through the city in Gladstone. It's a very, is what I enjoy most about teaching there, is it's a small town feel, and the parade was very heartwarming, and it was also very challenging to see, your students from afar and having to wave to them, but they were ecstatic to see us. They got so excited. I think that's by far the best things that we have done, just to get out there and show support, and for them to show support. It was amazing how many people were out, not just families, but the elderly who appreciated the teachers in the community. With everything shutting down, it was very heartwarming to see such a strong community feel, and it's pretty amazing to see people come together still.
I see a lot of good coming from what is really a very, very challenging, hard situation for the planet, for everybody. We can all see the challenging parts of this. We can all see the hard parts of this. We see how it impacts people financially, how it impacts the ability of people to get the things that they need, whether it's to feel like they can survive or whether they can at least create a sense of normalcy. All of those things are really challenging. But the good things are that people are making connections with each other they may not have in the past. Their neighbors are supporting each other in ways that they may not have done in the past because we all felt secure. We're recognizing people are working together to try to support others as they struggle.
I think that this is going to bring families closer together, and it reminds us a little bit of what's important. I'm also hopeful that throughout this process, parents gain a new appreciation for what happens at school, what teachers do, and what school systems provide, not only for their children, but for the communities. Schools really are a pillar of the community and kind of something that families should hopefully rally behind. Maybe that's something that will come because of this.
There's the students that challenge you every day, and I think this has made me appreciate those characteristics and personalities of students, and I miss them. I would give anything to be back in the classroom. So it's definitely shown me that I truly love what I do.
If I could get a message out to students, it would just be that we miss you. We can't wait until we can get back together in our schools and in our classrooms, till we can go on field trips and sing happy birthday and have lunches together and have recess together. We hope that you are staying safe and that you are doing well, and we are here for you. So if there's anything that you need, I'm sure you know how to contact your teachers. Please do that. Even if you're sad and you want somebody to visit with, we're here.
This is something that everyone is dealing with, and we're all learning as we go. So there isn't anyone that is going to be farther ahead or more behind than someone else. So do the best that you can. Try to contact your teachers or even your friends as often as you can so that you maintain that interaction.
Wish we could be together again in the classroom. It's really stinks that this year ended so abruptly, and I hope they're doing well. I miss them.
I think the biggest thing is for all of us to stay positive, do the best that we can as we navigate through this, and understand that kids are resilient. We're going to maybe not be quite as far along, but we're not just leaving kids behind. They're still having the opportunity to interact, to learn things, just not in the traditional way.
If we're agile and relaxed, take care of everybody, and we're just going to keep moving forward, and it's going to end up being okay. I think we're going to have a new normal. You've heard that phrase. What that new normal is going to be, I don't know. I'd like to think that it's going to be less consumptive, that we are as a society going to be less consuming, and that we're going to be more conscious of the people around us and how we need to take care of them. That's what my hope is, but who knows what happened. We are living in interesting times. Thanks for reaching out, and good luck. Stay safe.